Hi, I'm CJ Elmer with Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Frederick, Colorado. We've got a special trailer sitting behind me here. This is going to be one of our 2025 National Western Stock Show display trailers. This is a 2025 Cimarron Norstar 3-horse gooseneck. So this one here is got a lot of really cool features. Since it's going to be a display trailer, we threw a lot of options on it so we can really show off a lot of the stuff that Cimarron does, a lot of the nice extras that we can put on a trailer, but very well equipped. Before we start walking through this one, let's go ahead and take a look at the drawing because I want to show you how the trailer's laid out. Okay, we're 20 foot on the floor. Like I mentioned, it's a 3-horse. This one here is going to be 7'6" wide, so it's extra wide, 7'4" tall, so extra tall, extra wide, so it'll work for some bigger horses out there. We've got a front dressing room on this guy with kind of a glorified closet tack. Now, we do some of these closet tacks are really popular because it is a separate tack room from your actually front dressing room. But this one's, again, kind of, I like to call it a glorified. It's gonna be a bigger version. Now, this is gonna be a 3-horse, and the reason why we're taking a 3-horse down there is just we're trying to get 5 total trailers to show you down there at the show. So that's why we opted for the 3, but if you're interested in a 4, we've got a twin just like it in a 4-horse coming as well that we'll have at the lot. But let's start walking you through this trailer. Again, it's a 2025 Cimarron, all aluminum construction, 8-year structure warranty, 3-year hardware warranty, 1-year no questions asked warranty on your tires. We'll talk a little bit more about that. First and foremost, we're going to look at the front end of this guy. It's going to have that polished stainless nose on this, the 3 marker lights on the top. That became standard on their 25 models. This has got a 25,000 pound rated coupler from B&W. You know, a couple US made, products as far as the Cimarron. This B&W part here, they teamed up a couple years ago, Cimarron and B&W, and have come up with this version. This is not as necessary on this size of a trailer as it is our larger trailers, living quarters, trainers. But the lower profile handle with the extra hole drilled into it allows us a lot of flexibility to set this trailer up how we want it as far as making sure it's riding good and level. Okay, underneath the gooseneck, as you can see, we went ahead and equipped this guy with the electric over hydraulic jack. It's got the manual pump. This is the same version that we use on our through our parts and service department. If you wanted to add one onto a trailer, we're big believers in it too, because in emergency situations you can get this on or off the truck. Now you'll notice that the spare tire is located to the left of that and down low. If you watch a lot of our videos on our standard width Cimarrons, those 6'10" wides, this tire is elevated. And that's because this takes a little bit bigger footprint than a manual crank jack, so it needs to get up and out of the way. But since this trailer's wider, we're good there. With your jack, you're gonna get the aluminum battery box, 12-volt battery disconnect, so that's all one package. Now, a newer feature is gonna be right here with this package. That's gonna be a RedArc charger. This is a true 3-staging charger. Your truck would always work as a trickle charger to your battery, but it works as a trickle charge, very slow charge. For this guy here is gonna really amplify and really pick up the pace as far as that charging capability from our truck to this battery. So it's also gonna get a lot of life and longevity to the battery by protecting it. Also, it's gonna protect the truck from, if we do get a low battery or something like that, tripping one of those fuses. But again, we've been doing this for quite a while, doing some testing here on some of our trailers. And then Cimarron went ahead and made it standard on some of these 25 models. Some early 25 models didn't have that, but I want to say it was about middle of the summer they actually made that a standard feature on this. But we're really happy with it. Now, I talked about that coupler and the adjustment that you can make there. One thing that we've done on a lot of these using trailers, our 3s, our 4s, stock combos, those type of trailers, one of the issues in today's world with the newer trucks and newer truck, styles that they've come up with, Ram and Ford have had taller truck beds over the last couple of years. GM changed their body style a couple of years ago, and they went up about 2.5 inches. So having bed clearance is really important. I mean, think about the price tag on some of these new trucks and what it would be to replace that bed if you tear it up. Normally this is a 50-inch gooseneck drop wall, okay? Well, that was changed in the early 2000s when trucks kind of evolved and we ran into that issue from 47 inches. This is 53, and the reason why is now we can pull under you know, a brand new pickup, doesn't matter what model it is, you know, what make. Now, obviously, if it's lifted, those type of things come into play. But if it's a standard truck, we can adjust that coupler and make sure this trailer is running level, but we have adequate bed clearance. If you pay attention to older trailers on newer trucks, you either have plenty of bed clearance because they've nosed it up, and all that weight's run on that back axle, or it's running level and we have minimal bed clearance. So I'm not going to say you're never going to tear up a bed with one of these guys, but now we've drastically reduced the chances of it by making this a 53-inch gooseneck drop wall. The other thing is a Cimarron nose is 8'2" long, where a lot of competitors run a 7'6", 7'8". Well, look at that cover for that jack there. Long box trucks have to watch when they back underneath those competitors, sometimes even have to shut the tailgate so you don't get into that cover there. Well, the Cimarron, you can actually drop a long box tailgate and still have room to walk. So, and it also is going to give us extra storage up in the nose itself. Now, here's this tack room I was telling you about. Really unique design. It's kind of like a hybrid, but again, we wanted to throw a lot of options on this trailer to show you. So, first and foremost, on the doors, carpet with some bridal hooks. Cimarron bridal hooks are aluminum powder coated, so they're really stout. I like the height of them. I like the depth off the wall. I like the spacing. You have a brush tray on the door for those smaller miscellaneous items you can throw in there. Your brushes, your hoof picks, your fly sprays, anything like that. On the other door, it's going to be carpeted as well. And then we did 2 sets of bridal hooks there. These have 3 and 3 on this, where a full one is 6, but we went with a partial. This also is going to have the internal interlocking 2-point mechanism. This door will shut first, then the bigger door. And I'll show you as we button this up why we kind of did it this way. But you're going to notice big fold up step. We wanted to be able to access this whole tack room no matter what side. That's why we went with a little bit larger step. It's got 2 gas shocks on it. And then it leads us directly into this tack room. First and foremost, a recessed saddle post, 3 saddle racks, 3 blanket bars. Those are all adjustable. We can change sequencing, we can spread them out, add more, whatever you want. Up and down they can go. On this back wall, we did a shelf up high with a secondary shelf below it. They're 18 inches deep with a 2-inch lip, rubber on it. Great to throw a lot of items up there. We also put a clothes bar under here. Maybe you want to hang some clothes rather than, you know, putting them in your vehicle or just hang other items. We put 2 rope holders in here for you. So if you're a roper, you want to throw a bunch of ropes on here, you can. You still have a lot of floor space by having this. You're also going to notice that gray rubber mat. So we like it because it's not carpet. Carpet, you know, holds those odors, holds those stains over time. This rubber matting here, this stuff is really durable. Pay attention to it at real high traffic areas. You know, you go to sporting events, you go through airports, you just go about anywhere. If you start paying attention to like stairways and walkways, you'll notice this stuff. That's how well it holds up. And then Cimarron seals it on the side. But as you can see, everything's carpeted, so we're going to protect everything as well. To the right of the saddle racks as we're looking, we did a 48-gallon Half Moon water tank. Those water tanks there work really well in 90-degree corners or on flat walls. To where, granted, if we were going to put it in this back corner over here, a corner water tank would make more sense the way they fit, but we wanted that shelving and that storage for you. Ahead of it is going to be a couple more bridle hooks. Those are the big long ones. We got 2 of them. There's a 2-way roof fin up high as well, so we can get some airflow in here if we need to, just kind of keeping things from getting too musty in here because we don't have windows on the doors themselves. And then down low, we've actually got some splint boot holders. We did 4 on this. We actually have, when we got it in here, we said, boy, there's room for another set over there to the left. So we have a second set of these coming that we'll actually mount down there for you as well. LED light right up inside, so you have a lot of light coverage in here. It's the big OptiBrite lights. So there's two of them in there. Switches over here to the right hand side, so really easy to turn on and off. Now I'm going to go ahead and shut the smaller door. So the reason why we did the smaller door and where we set the saddle racks is if you don't necessarily want or have to open this door, look, you can still reach in here and get saddles, throwing them on or dragging them off. That's the reason why we did that. But we really wanted that larger opening so you could really access that entire tack room. Again, fold up step, very easy to use, up out of the way. White sheeting on this guy, that is standard. If you want a different color, a custom color, that can be done. There will be an upcharge on that, but any of that type of stuff can be done. You're gonna notice on the doors, welded hinges with grease zerks, so a lot easier to maintain for you. Compared to a lot of competitors that just have a welded hinge. We just saw one the other day, one came in on trade, you could tell that they had a hinge that was a little bit stiff. It was welded. You got to heat them up. They actually drilled holes into it trying to get some lubricant in there, to where on a Cimarron we can actually have these grease zerks. We can actually feed grease throughout. And you're going to notice there's a brass rod in the middle, and it runs the length of this, and it's got like a swirl in it. So like picture a candy cane swirl, but it's got that groove cut into it, so when you put that grease in there and open and close the door, it actually feeds it through the entire hinge itself. You're also going to notice a drip rail above the doors. So here in Colorado, we get some snow, then it'll get sunny for a couple days, all that stuff will melt. Excuse me, and we'll still get below freezing at night. So what you want to do is you want to keep that moisture away from those door openings so it doesn't try to get in, you know, freezing that weather stripping, making it really stiff and hard to open up. But that drip rail, that's an extruded piece too. So it's not just like, hey, let's find a piece of aluminum and tack it up there. No, they have specifically have a extrusion for their doors, and that is that piece there. On the top rail, you're gonna notice since it's a show trailer, it's got a lot more button lights up top. There's a 16-inch awning light, center of that tack. And then we also have another one back here. So you have a lot of light coverage on this trailer by having those multiple 16-inch load lights. We've got them on the other side too that we'll show you. Bus windows on hip side here. Cimarron does a great job on getting these really big, you know, sliding bus windows. You know, only half of a bus window open, so really kind of maximize the size we can, and that's what you have there. A few tie rings out here. We get down to our axles. So what we've got is we've got 16-inch aluminum wheels on this guy. They're the black with silver Goodyear 16-inch tire. Those are 10 plies electric brakes, so your truck will have to have integrated brake controller or an aftermarket. If you need that, we can help you there. This has got two 6,000-pound Dexter rubber torsion axles. I mentioned the tire warranties. You have a 1-year, no questions asked warranty on these tires. If you catch a nail that hits the sidewall and can't be patched, you have a blowout, you catch road debris, anything like that within the first year of you owning it, so it's that purchase date, Lion's Head, the vendor that Cimarron uses for their wheels and tires, will warranty that tire, no questions asked. Now we can help you out with that process. You don't go through Cimarron, you go through Lion's Head, but we'll need some information. Don't just dispose of the tire, at least get some pictures, some codes, that type of stuff off the tire, but we can help you out with that. Bolt-on fender, so it's not a weld-on, so it's a lot easier to swap off if something does happen, versus a weld-on where you have to cut it off and then re-weld a new one on. Okay, as we get to the back, this guy here is gonna have 50-50 rear doors because it's extra wide. Like I mentioned, it's 7'6" wide and it's got that extra height on there. But versus the standard width, 6'10", you're gonna have a 60-40 setup. So your right-hand door is a little bit larger than the left-hand door, but these guys are independent. You can open one ahead of the other, close them any sequence you want, but it's nice with these wider trailers to have that ability to have the 50-50 rear doors. If your horse or you prefer a rear ramp, we can remove this rubber bumper, do a ramp over. Again, there's some items we can add after the fact, a ramp, a hay rack, those type of items there. But then it leads us into this stall area. You're gonna notice solid dividers with pads. The very first divider is gonna be a stud divider. So again, if you've got somebody you need to separate, if you need to use it for some additional storage, you can. I want you to notice that these guys have springs on them. This trailer is tipped towards the passenger side. So if we level this out, these guys are actually gonna sit on that other wall, that driver's side wall. But what we want is we want everything to be one-handed operation. We want you to be able to lead a horse, open a divider, shut a divider, tie a horse up, everything with one hand. That way you're not having to hold items open, you know, anything like that. But again, they're wanting to pull that way. It's nice to have the stud divider. Again, additional storage, maybe need to keep somebody away from somebody else. We even did a pad up here on the partition wall for you. And then we've got kick mats all the way around, even on the back doors, all the way around the trailer. They've done a great job. If you even notice the wheel well in here, it's tapered up, it's tapered on the ends. So no 90-degree angles, nothing like that. Cimarron does a great job as far as I'm concerned on those type of items. When you walk into a Cimarron, you start grabbing things, everything has a radius, everything is smooth. Horse safety is first and foremost. Again, one-handed operation. Open and close the divider. Recessed paddle latches into the wall. These are aluminum cast piece, heavy UHMW plastic paddle latch, so we don't have metal to metal contact, creating that rattle and again creating a lot of noise in this actual trailer for the horses. So on the floor, you're gonna see the rubber mats, but what's underneath there is the industry's best floor. So it's a 12-inch deck piece. It's interlocking. It's tongue and groove, so 2 points of contact where it locks into place, but 4-inch centers. And why that's important is imagine hoof size of a horse. Wherever they're standing on a Cimarron floor, they're standing on a support beam. So it's just like building a house. Start off with a real strong, solid foundation and then build up from there. Nobody's got a better foundation than a Cimarron. Some customers want to upgrade to worm flooring. That can be done. It's cheaper to do it when the trailer's brand new. We could help you out with that versus when it's used. It's a little bit cheaper, you know, per square foot based on that. But again, you have a solid foundation there. And then again, you can go that route if you don't want to do the rubber mats. So when we flip to the other side, again, we're extra tall. We're 7'4" tall, so we have that added height. Two-way roof fence up here so we can manipulate more airflow. But then you have that roof. And that is standard on every single Cimarron as well. Doesn't matter if it's big LQ, bumper pull, this trailer. That roof right there is really strong and durable. It's a 1/2 inch thick. It's a honeycomb design, so it gains a lot of strength. I can walk on it. It won't dent it. It'll take 150 pounds per square foot. Take substantial hail. So we don't run into as many hail issues on Cimarrons as we do other manufacturers with like an aluminum roof. More importantly is what it does for the stall area temperature. It'll keep this trailer 20% cooler than an aluminum sheeted roof. That makes a massive difference in the summer months. Horses are going to be a lot more comfortable, a lot cooler by having that roof. And again, it is standard on every single one of them. Now, in each of these stalls here, you're going to notice the triangle feeder. They all come with the hooks, the D-rings as it is, but we went ahead and put these guys on here. That way you at least have them. I'll show you the jail bars when we get to the outside of this trailer. And then across the rear opening, you have a butt strap because this is that big opening. This back divider is also solid. So it's not a telescoping divider. And the reason why is we like to keep things, if we can, as less moving parts as possible. Now, sometimes some telescoping dividers are called for, but this rear stall is a little bit larger. You do have the potential to get a 4th horse hopped on here. You know, you're gonna have to pick your 2 smaller ones to put back here, but you do have that capability on this trailer the way it's set up. Now I'm gonna shut these rear doors. Again, they're independent. Everything's gonna be key-like on this trailer as well. So, tack doors, these rear doors, feed windows, all that will have one key. So it's really nice to be able to have one key to just lock everything up if need be. At the rear here, we've got two 8-inch awning lights. So again, we have lights at the back of the trailer, just like we do on the sides. Those are 6 inches there. But then I want you to pay attention to these rear tail lights. They have a built-in backup light in the actual light itself. We were adding a lot of backup lights to our trailers, but in this instance, Cimarron went ahead and put these backup lights in the tail lights themselves. And the best way I can explain it to you is, so we were doing an individual. It'd usually be right up in this area here. Imagine taking a flashlight and walking right up to this trailer and holding about that far apart. It was really bright. It had really good light coverage right there, but not a lot anywhere else. So by changing it to these, it's almost like taking that flashlight and standing back here. Well, maybe it's not as bright in one certain area, but now we can see all of that. And that's what you have with these guys. So that is standard on the Cimarrons. Again, in 25, they made that change. I really like that because look, our backup lights on our truck are worthless this far back. We all get home late. You get in unfamiliar places trying to back up in the dark. It's nice to have that coverage, and that's what you have on that. All those light switches are right back here for our load lights. So each side, the stall area, and then the rear. Here on driver's side, here's a good look at those drop-down feed doors and those jail bars. We can kind of see those from the inside. But look at the opening size of those drops. Now, your escape door is going to be a little bit smaller because of the framework we need for the actual escape door to open. So that feed door is not quite as big, but still a ton of airflow. That's the big thing. Let's keep these animals comfortable. These guys can be dropped very easily. There's just a track up there. Set it down, fill up those corner feeders, offer them a hay bag, offer them water, whatever you need to. And again, can fold up very easily. And then those guys will shut. But look at the framework around these windows. That's all framework. Pay attention to other trailers. They'll have very minimal framework, a lot smaller window. Sometimes they're a prefab window, which is like a piece of paper in your hand, can break very easily. These guys are big and stout. You're gonna use these windows about 98-99% of the time you use this trailer, more than likely. So they need to hold up, and that's what you get. There's those welded hinges again, drip rail above them. And then you can step right into that front stall. You have a chest bar there. And again, there's a corner feeder there. But again, you can access this front stall from this side with this access door here. Another load light and another load light. So again, ton of lights on this trailer on each side and the rear. You're not going to regret having a lot of lights on trailers. And a lot of times I see some customers that are always like, boy, I wish I would have put more lights on there. So a lot of our inventory, these type of trailers, we try to put a lot on there because again, that's some of the feedback we get is they're not unhappy about having all the lights. Okay, so we have a front dressing room. This is gonna be on the back side of that closet tack I showed you. So on this door here, we have a brush tray as well for storage. Fold up step, just like we saw on the other side. And then we come into this front dressing room. So we'll just start up in the gooseneck. Got an LED light up there, up in the center of the nose. There's gonna be another one above the door, but you've got your windows so you can see out, creating a cross breeze. Look at the depth of the storage. So like I said, 8'2" long, nose 7'6" wide, ton of storage up here. Even though we went to a 53-inch gooseneck drop wall that maybe ate into this storage area by 3 inches, the standard height trailer is 7'1", so you have the exact amount of storage as a 7'1" trailer. But again, keep in mind this is wider, so a ton of storage there. Frame for an air conditioner or 12-volt vent you want to do, manual vent, that part of it's already done, so that's nice. Carpet everywhere up on the deck, the drop wall, carpeted boot box, 12 inches, so you can throw some miscellaneous items in there. Use it as a bench, use it as a step to hop up into the actual gooseneck itself. Carpet behind me on this wall with a set of hooks, so you can just hang some items in here, give you some capability to do some of that. And then behind me is going to be another one of those 18-inch deep shelves. So this one here's got the shelf and then a clothes bar below it as well. So again, you can hang clothes in here. You need to come in, you know, throw a mattress, a bedroll, sleeping bags, anything like that, spend the night. Or if you're using it at a show, again, not using up space in the back of the truck for hanging clothes or need to change into a show shirt, you've got it here in this front dressing room. It's got the gray rubber on the floor again, just like we saw on the other side. That stuff is, again, I can't say enough about that. We're using it so much on trailers in different areas, different kinds of trailers, horse trailers, livestock trailers, living quarters, about everything. So we're really excited for you to come see this trailer in person at the stock show. Definitely come by and see us. We're gonna have a bunch of Cimarrons on hand. We're gonna have a Cimarron with an outlaw living quarters. But I'm gonna give you the stock number on this one for reference. That is 5N241347. Again, it's a 2025 Cimarron Norstar 3-horse gooseneck with that really big closet tack. So give us a call. Anybody on the sales team can help you out. We do take trade-ins, so if you're looking to upgrade, downsize, we can help you there. Financing is available and delivery is an option. That number is 303-684-3400. Appreciate you tuning in. Have a good day.